Now, before starting the discussion about what is there in the syllabus, how we are going to study and everything, before that, give me 10-15 minutes to bring you all on the same page. Okay. Now, now, in CIMA, the syllabus change happened in 2020. They introduced the new syllabus in 2019, but that is applicable for 2020 exams. So next 4 year there is no change. 20, 21, 23, 24. At the end of 24, again they will bring new syllabus, which will be from 25 to 29. Generally, the CIMA Institute, I am not saying that is 100%. Generally, the CIMA Institute changes the syllabus every 5 years. They changed the syllabus in 2015, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 continued, and then 20, 21, 23, 24 will continue. That means for coming 4 years, there will not be any change in the syllabus. So whatever we are studying now or I taught in the previous batch, that is fully relevant for coming 4 years. In ACCA, I will not say that they are exactly following the change in the syllabus, the 5 year strategy. The current syllabus which they are running, I can say in the year around 2015, I don't remember exactly, maybe 14 also. They changed the name of the syllabus from P1, P2, P3, P4 and all that to a specific name: AFM, APM, Advanced Auditing, Advanced Taxation, Strategic Business Leader Case Study, that they introduced in 2018. But they changed the name of the syllabus in professional level, in skill level, in 2015, approximately, as far as I remember. At that time, in compulsory, there were three subjects: P1, P2, P3. Name was P1, P2, P3. Then they cancelled the P1 and P3. They said that P1, P3 will become one subject from 2018 September, Strategic Business Leader Case Study. So they scratch what was there on 2015 syllabus and they changed the name in 2015 only actually. And then they said in 2018 that P1, P3 will not be there. There will be a combined subject, Strategic Business Leader Case Study. And from that you can say that the students in ACCA are giving two compulsory exams. One is SBL, the another is SBR. And then they have choices out of the four options, which is AFM, APM, advanced taxation, advanced auditing. Out of the four, they need to select two. Now, when we go for SBL exam, which we studied in the previous batch for December 2020 exams, it is actually not only P1, P3. It involves some portion of AFM also. It involves some portion of APM also. It involves some portion of auditing also. Not the taxation part, but all the subjects are involved in strategic business leader case study exam. Strategic business leader case study exam is a totally different type of subject, which I will say that only in CIMA the case study exam are like that. But in CPA, in CMA US, in CFA or any courses, the case study exams are conducted on the basis of, you can say, a comprehension based. But an intrinsic case study exam is only there in CIMA and ACCA syllabus. So when I teach case study, strategic business leader case study for ACCA and strategic case study for CIMA student, I bring the student together. Maybe some differences are there, but then both the student will get the benefit when they will study together. They will complement each other. They will be able to do the papers of each other. That will be helping them to pass the exam better. It's not that I want to save my time. It's actually, if I am teaching for CIMA SCS, whatever I need to teach, the same thing I need to teach for ACCA SBL also. There is no difference. For that reason, I call the students together. There is one batch in which the student join the classes. Sometimes when the ACCA SBL batch is not running, then I ask the CIMA students, you do go through some of the recordings of ACCA SBL. Sometimes when I am teaching SBL batch and CIMA is not running, CIMA SCS case study, then at that time I say ACCA SBL student, you do these recordings. So that means maximum time I want that they should be combined. If they are together, then in that case they will complement each other. But sometimes because of schedule, when the togetherness is not there, then it happens that I ask them to do the recording, some of the recordings. Similarly, I will say that in ACCA, from September 2018, there is no change in syllabus as such. Thus, the scratch of P1, P3 combined into SBL, that's other thing. But there is no as such change in the syllabus. And we understand that if I am talking about finance, this is not law. This is not IFRS or IAS, some new IFRS scheme, nothing like that. I can understand that every day in organizations, in wherever we are working, different types of business issues we come across that can be said as a different type of new issue. You can see that because of Corona, the financing decisions, the project decision making, investment, fundraising, everything is affected. For different organizations, different aspects are there. For that, every institute develop some material which the student can refer when they give the exam. Like on ACCA website, I will be taking you. They develop technical article, not only in SBL or SBR, in every subject, even in a skill level subject also. The technical article is basically saying, suppose you are giving exams after 3 months. Then in the last, you can say 5-6 months, or maybe maximum 1 year, what are the new things happened in the market? Maybe they are regulation or not. Because in AFM paper, there is no regulation. But what are the new things happening in the market? Like suppose in place of LIBOR, there is a different type of interest rate coming in the world. Whether it will be tested in the exam, that's a secondary thing. The main important thing is that we need to knowing that whatever happening in the practical world, we should be having good sound knowledge and understanding. Whether it will be tested or not, nobody knows. Similarly, in CIMA, they publish FM magazine. The FM magazine is there on the institute website also, and the FM magazine is there in the social media also. Regularly, month by month, they publish the magazine. In the magazine, some specific issues relating to finance are there. Maybe suppose you don't have to read the magazine, you don't have to use the technical article. If you are regularly in the news, if you are regularly referring the news, what is maybe Economics Times in India, business newspaper, whatever. We all are there on the social media. in place of what others are doing, what he is doing, what all these things are, you can say, social gathering, social understanding. But beyond that, our objective is to upgrade ourselves. Suppose we will study for AFM or F3 for March. It's not that I passed the exam, the things are over. I need to be always correlating what is happening in the market because we are in that category. For that reason, every institute is conducting PER, professional, you can say, training week. Even though you are a ACCA qualified, CIMA qualified, chartered accountant, you need to do some regularly upgrading yourself, the new development, so that you can be relevant in the practical world. We all understand that you, me, everybody is very busy in our day to day work. कि भाई ऑफिस जाना है, नहीं जाना है, then we need to work from home. These are the responsibilities. Family है, सब कुछ है. That we can't change. But we need to bring in our day, out of 24 hour, half an hour, 1 hour, try maximum regularly. May not be possible on all the 7 days. Then maybe 1 or 2 days or 3 days. That what is practical happening in the world. With that you can know from the ACCA practical article on the website, CIMA magazine, or your knowledge about what is happening in the world. Your area of interest. If you are an specialist in, you can say, accounting area, IFRS and all that, given the exam, but still the changes will not stop. It will continue forever. If you are a finance guy, you want like finance, mergers, acquisitions, investments, fundraising, all these things, or you are doing already that thing in the organization, you want to go to the next level, you regularly need to search for those types of things what is happening. Not for the exam, for your own personal development. So many times when the student gives the exam, they say that sir technical article दिया हो, पढ़ना है कि नहीं? वो पढ़ना एग्जाम के टाइम पे नहीं, वो रेगुलरली. Whenever you are thinking that you are free, maybe suppose I will say that if all are male members except Pridi, and suppose we all are married generally, then your wife is not there, you are free for 1 or 2 days, then in that case develop yourself at that time. Or maybe for a girl also, if you are married, then you are alone. I mean to say, you can study only those things when nobody is disturbing you. Not for exam, for your personal development. मैं भी करता हूं, आपको भी करना जरूरी है. उसके लिए कोई, there is, I mean to say, there is no specific classes can be conducted for that. Obviously, when I will be teaching, I will be always concentrating on practical happening, what is happening. Sometimes I also didn't get time. Then the student says that, sir, आपने ये देखा है, अच्छा नहीं लगता है. कि भाई, you have seen, I have not seen. When I am communicating in the first class, we should be doing that. Why I am saying this thing? The reason is that suppose CIMA exam is objective test exam. We need to give in 90 minutes the 60 questions answers, and out of 60 we need to do 40 correct. Looking at the structure of the paper, it is difficult. And it is actually difficult because not a single question will be coming from anywhere. And when objective type exam, there is no limit. There is no limit. If you do Kaplan, you do BPP, you do whatever. But the questions which you will be doing, out of that, maybe 5-10% will be repeated in the exam. 90-95% will be new. If I will say ACCA AFM exam, in ACCA AFM exam, all the papers are there on the institute website. I generally say that कि student अगर अपने आप भी study कर रहे, they need to invest very less in purchasing the materials. Because if you want to study material, they are available on social media. आपको कोई मेहनत नहीं करना है, केवल 1 घंटा थोड़ा सा लिंक्डइन, फेसबुक कहां भी है, जाइए, ग्रुप में पोस्ट करिए. डू यू हैव दिस? आजकल तो नॉर्मली टेलीग्राम वगैरह में भी मटेरियल, टेलीग्राम में भी मैसेजेस है, वहां पर भी यू कैन connect with the students. They will have the material you can get. There is no investment required in the materials. And more than the material, the ACCA Institute is giving everything on the institute website. All past term papers, more than enough. उससे ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस और करने की जरूरत नहीं है. I mean to say that material is not a big deal. Material, what I am giving, what you will be able to collect, that is not a big important issue. The important issue with me is to teach. We are not selling materials, this material, that material, this term and all that. Don't फोकस ऑन द मटेरियल इज से 2019-20 चल रहे। अरे भाई हम लोग अभी पढ़ रहे हैं, वाई वी आर इन द क्लास, दैट आई विल बी डेवलपिंग यू वॉट एवर इज हैपनिंग टूडे। मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव तो यही है। अब उसके लिए आई नीड टू से टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी, कैलकुलेशन ऑफ फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, दैट concept is not going to change, because to go here I need to start from the scratch. I can't assume or presume for anybody that this has been done. We have given the material earlier, but now today after the class my team will give the material to everybody again. Whether it is given or not, don't worry, my team will give. Because when I take the first class, then I give them the instructions कि एक बार सब लोगों को फिर से मटेरियल दे दो और जो क्लास हो गई उसका रिकॉर्डिंग भी दे दो, then the system starts. So even though maybe somebody joined earlier, उसने बोला होगा कि मान लीजिए you said sir for the time being only APM, so they have given only APM, so I am not questioning that anybody received the material or not. Don't take tension. After my class today you will get again all the materials, because maybe somebody has not been given earlier, maybe given earlier but he has not downloaded, ऐसा तो हो सकता है ना, कोई टेंशन नहीं लेना, मटेरियल मैं दूंगा। मेरा क्या बोलने का मतलब है कि मेनी टाइम्स द स्टूडेंट सेज दैट सर ये 2019 का है, अभी तो 20 चल रहे, मैं हूं ना 20 में आपके साथ, मैं फिर से 21 में होऊंगा ना आपके साथ, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है, आप वो ध्यान मत दीजिए। ये रिक्वेस्ट है कि ये मटेरियल इस साल का है, ये है अपने आज तक, whenever we are doing a batch, whatever is relevant we will be discussing in the class. You don't have to take tension. And if somebody will say that I want this material, that material, I always say that you can buy. When you will buy, you will realize that you have wasted your money. That is my advice. But still, if the student will not understand and will want to focus only, then you can buy. For that reason, we are mentioning always what? Study resources of Saraf Academy. I am not saying this material, that material. Because otherwise, the students sometimes out of 1000, one or two are not of the proper mentality. They will just think that 2020 का ही material चाहिए. I am not saying 2020 material will not have certain examples and all that. Obviously, yes. But फिर हम लोग किस लिए हैं? अगर सब material से ही करना है, then what is the use of Prakash Saraf or mine? If material is enough, then why we are taking the classes? So I mean to say that your development is not only with the material. If you want to be expert in the subject, you need to be definitely correlating what is happening in the practical world. Because at a strategic level in CIMA, at professional level in ACCA, all the students are highly qualified. Most of them are chartered accountant, CMA, MBAs. Most of them are working for a long time, 5 years, 10 years. So I can say that in practical experience working in an organization, you are maybe better than me, because I am reading news and all that, but I am not working anywhere. I have never worked anywhere except initial period 6 months. You all are working. So obviously, when you are facing the practical issues, your boss or everything, the politics in the organization, all those you are facing. So you are better in those things than me. Try to capitalize on that. Whatever you are doing in the organization, can you do it better after some study? If you are handling accounting matters, then SBR करने के बाद, can you do a better work in your organization? Something which the organization is not doing, can you advise them? Maybe for that you will not be getting any enhanced compensation, but you will be in the eyes of everybody. Everybody will understand that this person is developing, not only degree wise, but the concept he is developing and he is utilizing that for the benefit of the organization. दिखता सबको है, किसी के सामने से आप जाएंगे नहीं. When your knowledge is increasing and you can impart that knowledge in the organization, that will be looked. Maybe not one day, but sometime it will be looked, and automatically the growth will come. Whether we are thinking of joining somewhere else, because for that reason we are studying in the morning, we are getting up, studying and all that. What is the reason? I will be getting better opportunities in life. The better opportunity does not depend upon your ACCA degree or CIMA degree. Your knowledge, your behavior, your communication skill, which you already have, just that polish करना. So think that if you do all these things, that will be much better than just studying the questions. Because many times in the class also, because of the syllabus pressure that we have to complete like that and all that, sometimes we are not able to do so much practical. It happens because the student is mainly concerned exam mein kya aayega. I am also mainly concerned what will come in exam, whether we are technically perfect, exam pass होएंगे कि नहीं, and if you are passing the exam, you are satisfied. If you are passing the exam, I am also satisfied. So ultimate objective is that only. I am not questioning that objective. But along with that, whatever personal development possible, try to focus on that because that will help you. Or anything which I will be teaching from scratch. You don't have to take tension that I studied 5-10 years back. क्या होएगा कोई problem नहीं. The third thing, like suppose this is the first class. We have 8-10 students live, and in total the batch AFM and CIMA F3, I think around 40-43 students are there. 40 में से 10 लोग ही है ना live. कितना परसेंट हुआ? 25%, 25%. You will see Pratik, you are already there. After 2 classes, only you will be there, or maybe 1 or 2 will be there. That means out of 40, I generally presume 4 students will be doing live. Balance कोई करने वाले नहीं. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूं कि वो लोग गड़बड़ है. I mean to say that ये normal feature है last 6 साल से. ये अभी का बैच थोड़ी ना है. This is normal tendency for last 6 years in online classes. Because of Corona, everywhere the classes are like this only. Webinars and all that, you must all be doing. But मैं तो कोरोना के कारण ऐसे हुई नहीं. मैं तो already 2014 से ऐसे ही हूं. I am conducting the classes like this only for last 6 years. Maybe the technology I have changed. Earlier the software was say at a lower level. Now I have increased the software in 2019. Again we are changing the software in next 1.5 month for better technology. Not that you need to pay extra. Better technology, better utilization, better feeling, that's my job. लेकिन ये थोड़ी ना कि अगर 2018 में कुछ पढ़ाए थे उसमें 100% चेंजेस आ गए. कोई चेंज नहीं आया. अपने ये बोल रहे हैं कि whether we are from India or suppose we are from Australia or we are from Dubai, Middle East, any, मेरे को एक टाइम तो रखना होगा कि at what time I will be taking the class. And I think that when we do the important things in the morning only, the whole day go good. मेरे को बाद में शाम को भाई टाइम मिले नहीं मिले, सुबह पहले when I get up, I should be able to do the things which is most important for me. That means if I am doing some course, then study of that course. For that reason, morning we are fresh. I always take the class after bath, after having pujas and everything. Not that I am good, but मैं पहले से एकदम fresh होके बैठता हूँ, so that I can give that freshness in the class. That I expect that the students should be giving priority to the live classes. But if you know that you cannot manage live classes because of your commitment, there is no issue. कोई issue नहीं है. लेकिन आपको रेगुलरली स्टडी तो करना होगा. Because presently this is the first class. After some time, Happy New Year, then Valentine's Day, then exam, then Sankranti. So many things are there. We understand. Time आपके लिए रुकेगा नहीं. Time will not stop. And I will not stop in the class that if you are not there, then मेरा जो टारगेट बनाया हुआ है मैं उसको मिस करूंगा. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. Because then you will charge me that sir आपने सिलेबस कंप्लीट नहीं किया. तो मेरा तो सबसे प्राइम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है सिलेबस कंप्लीट करना. तो अपने ये सोचें कि लाइव क्लास इफ वी डू, द अंडरस्टैंडिंग, द मोटिवेशन, द कनेक्शन will be better, interest will grow. If we do the recording classes, because we are not able to manage live classes, not an issue, but the recording should be done in the order, so that whatever target I am making, I will be achieving that target for the exam. Maybe CIMA exam is on demand exam. On demand में problem क्या है? वो demand कभी करते ही नहीं है. There are students studying say F3 for more than 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. अभी इस बैच में आए ही नहीं. 4 बार मैंने पढ़ा दिया 2 साल में, 4 बार पढ़ लिए, कभी आए कभी नहीं आए, एग्जाम देना ही नहीं. तो अभी खुद ही शर्म आती है ना कि भाई वापस आके क्या करें. यू अंडरस्टैंड. देयर आर स्टूडेंट इन ACCA, 1 साल हो गया, 1.5 साल हो गया. उससे प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है? मे बी यू आर नॉट गिविंग एग्जाम. इंस्टीट्यूट पूछ रहा है CIMA ACCA, These are the students registered with you. They have not given any exam. Why? Your learning partner approval, that is gold approved learning partner, will be converted into platinum, or you will be allowed to continue use the gold approved partner when the student will be progressing. कि अगर वो लोग प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर रहे हैं, इसका मतलब आप में कुछ गड़बड़ है, कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है सराफ एकेडमी में। कि अगर मान लीजिए साल में 100 स्टूडेंट रजिस्टर किए, तो 100 में से भाई 50-60 तो ऐसे होंगे जो आगे जाए, एटलीस्ट 50%। तो अगर स्टूडेंट एग्जाम नहीं दे रहे, इफ द स्टूडेंट इज नॉट पासिंग, द ब्लेम इज ऑन मी, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली आई एम द ट्यूटर इन द क्लास. दैट प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट देयर इन प्लेस ऑफ, you can say, better benefit for a platinum, silver, gold, platinum. Silver, lower level. It is not a difference in respect of giving benefit to student. स्टूडेंट को बेनिफिट हर केस में बराबर मिल रहा है, लेकिन हम लोगों का इंसेंटिव सिल्वर, गोल्ड और प्लैटिनम में अलग अलग है. हम लोगों का इंसेंटिव क्या है? व्हेन आवर रिजल्ट पास रेट इज गुड, व्हेन आवर, यू कैन से, what I should say, the enrollments are good, then there is a separate incentive from ACCA Institute, CIMA Institute. Other than whatever I am getting from all of you, at the same time, there is an incentive. Like you all are working in the organization, you have a salary, but at the same time, along with the salary, there are incentive bonus based on your performance. The same is there for me also. And my application, the learning partner status will cancel if the performance is very poor. They are very particular in this. Every year the license need to be renewed. आप लोग को तो केवल एनुअल सब्सक्रिप्शन देना है, हो गया. मेरा एनुअल सब्सक्रिप्शन वो लोग लेंगे कि नहीं लेंगे, पहले क्वेश्चन आता है. फर्स्ट कम्स दैट. एंड इफ आई विल बी अ प्लेटिनम पार्टनर, देन इन दैट केस my incentive are huge. I cannot say that amount here, but that is huge. So I need to be go to the platinum stage ना. जाना है मेरे को. सिल्वर से गोल्ड बने, गोल्ड से प्लैटिनम बने, वो सब आपकी हेल्प से ही होगा. When the student will be passing, और नहीं तो प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रही है? For that reason I have made the rule now that the classes will be relevant for 1 year. एक एग्जाम हम लोग को 3 महीना में देना है. अगर हम 12 महीना में भी एग्जाम नहीं देंगे 12 मंथ्स में, तो क्या करेंगे? फिर तो कभी करेंगे ही नहीं, वो होना ही नहीं है. When the exam for a subject we need to give in 3 months, one subject, and we are not giving in 12 months, then as per the guidelines rules, I have made the rule for every course. 1 year बाद class नहीं मिलेगा. Because what I will reply to them? Then I can reply, the student has left the course. They are not studying. What to do? I can give the proof they have not attended any live class. They have not done any recording. That means the student is not interested. What should I do? Maybe there is some problem with the student for that reason. ये रूल क्यों बनाया मैंने? केवल उनका क्वेश्चंस को फेस कर करके माइंड खराब हो जाते हैं कि द स्टूडेंट ज्वाइंड इन 2018, नॉट गिवन अ सिंगल एग्जाम. व्हाई? अरे भाई व्हाई कैसे रिप्लाई करें? When we are mailing to the student, not replying. When we are messaging to the student, not replying. तो हम इंस्टीट्यूट को क्या जवाब दें? What we should say? How we go into the next level? Not because of my fault. So I cannot accept that. For that reason, I have made a rule in last 5-6 months that classes will be valid for 1 year. Everywhere terms and conditions are written. Maybe somebody joined earlier. वो बोलेगा सर आपने पहले तो ये नहीं बोला था, आप समझिए. मैं आपको गड़बड़ नहीं करना चाह रहा हूं कि आपको मैंने बोला कि आप क्लासेस अरे यार जन्म भर करेंगे क्या आप कोर्स? अगर आज आप कर रहे हैं कोर्स, क्या आप 2025 में भी एसीसीए करते रहेंगे? सीमा करते? मेरे ख्याल से तो कभी नहीं करेंगे. या तो फटाफट कंप्लीट कर लेंगे या छोड़ देंगे. तो अपने एज्यूम कर रहे हैं कि somebody is not completing in 1 year at least a particular subject. That means he has left the course. She has left the course. Because और उसके साथ कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. समझिए आप. It's not the rule is to harm you. It's the rule for your and my both the benefits. Something need to be done in 3 months can be done at least in 12 months. That we are expecting. So that I am liable in front of the institute to say that the student has this issue. You understand? Somebody will say that sir मैंने 1 साल पहले ज्वाइन किया था, आपने जन्म भर का बोला था. अरे यार करना क्लास, यार पढ़ तो ले पहले. कौन थोड़ी आपसे कुछ छीन रहा है, लेकिन आप ऐसे करेंगे तो उससे कुछ होना थोड़ी ना है. So that I am saying that if somebody is there in the live class, first class, second class, that is not the thing. Whether you are live or not, उससे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आप ये बैच अगर रनिंग है, रेगुलरली रिकॉर्डिंग करते रहिए. योर डाउट्स आर देयर. मे बी यू आर नॉट डूइंग लाइव, मे बी कमिटमेंट्स आर देयर. You send your doubts in the mail. In the next class, whatever your doubts are there, you don't have to remind me. I will open your mail. I will discuss your doubts in the class at length. When you will do the recordings, it will be cleared. मैं हूं आपके लिए. आपको डाउट मेरे को कॉल करके पूछना है, मैसेज करके पूछना है, करिए. लेकिन सिलेबस में क्या है, कैसे पढ़ेंगे, ये बार बार नहीं पूछना है. एक प्रोफेशनल एटीट्यूड बनाकर आगे बढ़ना है कि अब मेरे को 2021 में ये कंप्लीट करना है. बिकॉज आपको डिग्री तभी मिलेगी जब आप पढ़ेंगे, नहीं स्टडी करने से नहीं होएगा. ठीक है. सो इट्स गुड दैट स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर इन द क्लास. First class, Pratik, you have experienced for the last 2-3 batches. You will experience further whenever I will teach. This will happen. And I have discounted this. The student in the live class, if it's a 50 student batch, 4 to 5. If it's a 100 student batch, 10. If it's 200 student batch, around 15-20. Last batch in December 2020, skill level, ACCA, FR, financial reporting, and you can say diploma IFRS. Even the CIMA F2 students also. 179 students. In the first batch, 80 students were live. What a lovely. Second class, 40. Third class, 20. And that 20 reduced to around 10-12 by the end. तो 170 जन में से 180 जन में से 10 से 12 लोग लाइव कर रहे हैं. मैं थोड़ी ना उसके लिए बंद कर दिया. If one student is live, I am live. Because if you want to do recording, अभी already हमने September 2020 में खत्म किया है. The reason is very frequency because in March when I started for AFM, SBR, then June exam was not there. It was cancelled in the month of April only. June में exam नहीं होगा. I thought that why to teach one subject when September student will be giving exams. Teach 2 subjects together. From March to September, I taught 2 subjects together, the accounts also, and then the AFM also, one day. The reason is only one, that both the subjects we can study and can give exam in September. मेरे ख्याल से जितना भी लोग था, कोई एक जन ने भी दोनों एग्जाम नहीं दिया, एक सिंगल स्टूडेंट ने भी. जबकि अपने मार्च से लेकर सितंबर, यार 6 महीना और कितना पढ़ेंगे. So 2 subjects I taught at that time, then SBL. Then again you can say I came into this AFM. So frequency is high because of the exam was not there in June. The September which I taught, there is no changes from September till March. There is no change. The syllabus wise and everything. Technical article कुछ आया होगा, मैं नहीं मना कर रहा हूं, लेकिन technical article में कुछ syllabus change थोड़ी ना है. तो आप if you are doing the recordings, don't focus on these recordings. Focus on September recording which is already there with you. If you are live, then connect live. It's not that I am not going to give you this recording. कोई problem नहीं. But double recording करके आप ही confuse होंगे. ये भी वो भी यहाँ ये पढ़ा है. How can the comma full stop will be same in previous batch and this batch? याद करके थोड़ी ना देखा है कि पहला बैच में मैंने ये comma full stop बोला था. नहीं possible. So for that reason, take your call in your brain. Make your brain function properly, and as per your brain, think that whether you can manage live classes. I am always live. Do the live classes. If you already know that it will be difficult for me, it's just an exception today. Don't take tension. Start doing the recordings properly with a professionalism. In a week, 2-3 recordings you will be doing, and balance days you will study on your own. I will say how to study also. Then in that case, you will be able to complete by March. Can we attend whenever possible? Recordings, yes. Live class, not whenever. Because live class Monday, Wednesday morning, this 7:30. But the recordings are there with you, Sandhya, and everybody. Live to live here, agar cricket match is happening now between Australia and India. In Australia, live. You can see live only this moment. Na? After the live is over, then you can see recordings only. Highlights only. Similarly, live class is there on Monday, Wednesday morning only. After live class is over, you can see recordings whenever you like. There is no compulsion. Just only on one machine. That's other thing. Getting, yeah. So since you are from Australia, I'm not asking what is time at your place, and maybe it is very difficult to attend the live class. Don't take tension relating to live class. Maybe on the first day you are live, but if you cannot manage live class, not an issue. Do the recordings. What's the problem? I'm there for all your doubts. You don't have to take tension. I'm there. 1 p.m. You understand? So you are getting up at 1 p.m. and you will do the class 1 p.m. to 3:30. Then the whole next day will be disturbed. Na? Yeah, I understand. Even I have a feeling that in one batch, 1 p.m. afternoon, sorry, then in that case you are suffering from office. Okay. Maybe because of Corona, work from home. Sorry. Yes. I mean to say that at present when I'm taking the class 7:30, in UK, it is 1 a.m. because 2 a.m. There is a student from UK regularly attended live class at 1 a.m. in the morning. 1 to 3:30, 4 o'clock every class. वीक में मैं 2 ही दिन पढ़ाता हूँ. वीक में in live classes are only 2 days. But that student attended all the live classes extra also always. Like Pratik, for the time being, for last 4 months you are live. He has attended all single class. And in CMA US, out of 500, he scored 440. And then he said that, sir, if somebody is asking how to study and all that, I will guide you. You give my number to those persons. Dedication, yaar, dedication. कि रात को 1 बजे उठकर पढ़ना. Sometimes he says that, sir, my family members are sleeping beside me and all that. I'm doing the class. I said, good sir. So dedication की बात है यार. देखिए प्रॉब्लम सबके हैं. इंसान है, we are human beings. Issues, problems, family, everything will be there. That cannot be removed. But then I need to think that what I want to achieve. मेरे को वो सोचना है. I am not giving this motivation lecture or anything. मेरे को मन में ये होना है, मेरे को ये चाहिए है. And I will be doing everything to get that. Whether live recorded doesn't matter. Live का ही तो recording है. कोई अलग थोड़ी ना मिलेगा. There is nothing editing I am doing because there is no time for doing editing. Whatever I am saying, comma, full stop in the live class, fully is getting recorded and you will get the same recording. There is no change. A single sentence change will not be there. Okay. So take your call, think logically what you will be doing, and then attend the classes. If you are regularly doing the recordings, send your mail, whatever your doubts are there. I will be opening your mail and will be completing that. In the class, you don't have to take tension. Now, suppose somebody will say that, sir, why this batch is together? Source of finance, debt, equity, dividend distributions, how the company should be paying dividend, capital investment decisions, that is NPV, IRR. Then you can see mergers, acquisitions. Then you can see the foreign exchange risk, interest rate risk. There is not a single topic which is there in CIMA, which is not there in ACCA, and which is there in ACCA, which is not there in CIMA. There is not a single area, not a single thing. Just that what is the difference? For ACCA, there is no objective exam. For ACCA, it's essay type exam. I will explain. For ACCA, it's an essay type exam. Okay. So, first of all, I need to explain the concepts. Like suppose I am teaching investment appraisal, NPV, IRR, the difficulties and all that, non-financial issues, everything I need to discuss. Source of funding, I need to discuss entire thing. Then the ACCA students will be able to do their questions. CIMA students will be able to do their questions from their material. I will be opening sometimes CIMA material, sometime ACCA material, sometime this question, sometime that question. Maybe every question I will not be able to do in the class, but then you will be trying your question on your own. Wherever you will face problem, You will be sending your doubts. I will be clearing your doubts. I require a support from your side. ACCA student can refer CIMA material. CIMA student can refer ACCA material for building the concepts. Because questions तो किसी का material से भी exam में नहीं आएगा. When the student give exam, then they understand that कि यार इतना questions की exam में तो सब नया आया, आएगा ही नया. They are making the papers 3-4 months with a team of faculties, everything new. There will not be any repetition. Even though the exams from home, लेकिन AFM सब ग्रुप में क्या है, जहां जहां ग्रुप्स है, स्टूडेंट लोग बोलते हैं ये आया था, अरे दूसरे को आप कोई हेल्प नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. इफ यू आर सेइंग दैट इन्वेस्टमेंट अप्रेजल केम, क्या उसको पता नहीं है क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट अप्रेजल आएगा? आर यू एबल टू गिव हिम द फिगर्स, द कैलकुलेशंस? नथिंग. Syllabus is divided into 3-4 parts. The areas will be from there only, but we are wasting our time in those groups. Just that what came, somebody is asking exam में क्या आया, कोई फायदा नहीं है उससे. Just focus on your understanding. Just develop your concepts. Do the questions in writing. Writing in the sense not pen and paper. On screen. Don't read the solutions always. Do some questions. At least 20-30% questions on your own. Balance you can read. When you write, don't see the answers. Regularly do the questions in your writing. When you are doing questions, don't try, when you are studying a topic, don't try to finish it very fast. Go slowly. For your study, to understand something, you need to understand entire concept. When your entire understanding is there, automatically speed will come. You don't have to bring. Don't take any printout. Don't study on physical material. That will affect your speed even though you know the things. Most of the students don't understand this. They have developed the habit. Change karna padega. You have to change. Change is the only thing which is required. So don't take any printout. Don't use any copy pen in your study. I always say that. Since last 7 to 8 years, I have never purchased the physical material. The physical material Almira is there beside them, behind this computer only. I have never opened for last 2 years वो Almira को. खुला ही नहीं है मैंने. Physically कोई मेरे desk पे कुछ नहीं होता है. Nothing. All on screen. For classes on screen. For my study on screen. Even though I cannot type very fast. मेरे को कीबोर्ड पे देखकर ही टाइप करना पड़ता है. I cannot type without looking at the keyboard. थोड़ी ना they are asking that typist. My English is not good. They are not asking you need to be a literature person. They are asking आपको अपना बात communicate करना आना चाहिए. You need to be computer friendly so that you can do faster calculations, faster things. So always whenever you study on your own, sit with a calculator, scientific calculator which is allowed in the exam, not the normal calculator. Do the questions on Word file, on Excel, so that your regular practice will be there in that manner. And in every topic, understand the concept very deep. That will not be only for exam, that will be for your practical development also. If we focus like that, we can never fail in the exam. Saturday, CIMA award ceremony was there. My student was there as a student of the year for 2020, Shreyas Shah. He didn't got the award because out of 10, only one student will be announced as winner. Some other student won the first award. If he would have won, I would have publicized everywhere. तो उसको ज्यादा फायदा है कि मेरे को. उसको ACCA का भी होता है अवार्ड है. ACCA award ceremony is also there. Those who scored world rank first, second, third, उनको अवार्ड दिया जाता है मेरे भाई. कैश प्राइज है, अवार्ड है, वो आपका इंसेंटिव है. तो केवल पास होकर क्या होएगा? There was a student from Sri Lanka. It's only one winner, not first, second, third. Out of the whole world 183 countries, for 2020, 10 students were selected. जैसे होता है ना मूवी के अंदर नॉमिनेशन, बेस्ट मूवी, बेस्ट एक्टर. So my student was in nomination. I nominated him to CIMA Institute that you can take him. So there are all over the world 183 countries, faculties, universities and all that nominated their student. My student was selected out of the 10. He was in the nomination. But he was not given the first award. Missed. अब वो स्टूडेंट वो कभी फेल ही नहीं हुआ यार. F3 बोलिए, P3 बोलिए, he studied CIMA from beginning, all 16 subjects. Never failed any subject. एंड देयर आर स्टूडेंट हु हैव गिवन एग्जाम F3 4 टाइम्स, 4 बार दे चुके हैं, फिर भी फेल होते हैं। मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूं वो लोग खराब है, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, इफ समबडी इज फेलिंग दे आर बैड, आई एम नॉट सेइंग, बट आप उनसे चौथी बार एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, फिर भी कोई बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी का प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकालने का पूछिए, मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड फॉरेन एक्सचेंज पूछिए, कुछ नहीं आता है। तो एवरी टाइम तो दे आर अपियरिंग फॉर द एग्जाम विदाउट नॉलेज। आज कोई एएफएम का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, एएफएम का एग्जाम जिन्होंने भी दिया है, मेरे को पता है कौन पास होगा नहीं होगा। अगर केवल सब चीज को मगअप कर रहे हैं, केवल सोच रहे हैं याद करके हो जाएगा, तो कोई भी एग्जाम पास नहीं होगा। सीमा एग्जाम्स स्ट्रेटेजिक लेवल and professional level ACCA professional exam, because AFM APM advanced taxation are specialization. SBR SBL is not specialization, they are difficult subject. Whether you give AFM, whether you give APM, whether you give advanced taxation, whether you give advanced auditing, आप कोई भी पेपर सेलेक्ट करिए, सब में आपको लेवल एकदम टॉप में ले जाना होगा। If you are saying advanced financial management, that means nobody is more knowledgeable in finance than you. The examiner is thinking that. क्योंकि और आपको finance नहीं पढ़ना है, हो गया। So they are asking a very very high skilled in selective papers. सीमा में जो क्वेश्चंस आता है ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप, अगर आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, आप क्वेश्चंस कर ही नहीं पाएंगे। क्वेश्चंस करने के लिए योर कॉन्सेप्ट शुड बी 100% क्लियर, और क्वेश्चन रिपीट तो एक भी नहीं होगा, और कॉन्सेप्ट अपने जो क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे उससे होगा, केवल क्वेश्चन करने से नहीं होगा। बिकॉज अदरवाइज तो आई कैन ऑल्सो कंप्लीट द क्लासेस इन, यू कैन से 10 क्लासेस डूइंग द क्वेश्चंस। मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूं, ज्यादातर स्टडी तो वैसे ही होती है, देयर इज नो एक्सप्लेनेशन, सम न्यूमेरिक्स की, इसको ऐसे याद कर लो, ये कर लो, डू दिस क्वेश्चंस, दैट स्टडी आई एम नॉट डूइंग, दैट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, उसका कोई फायदा नहीं। फॉर दैट रीजन आई एम टेकिंग डबल टाइम इन टेकिंग द क्लास। मेरे को भी जल्दी से पढ़ाना आता है, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं नहीं पढ़ा सकता हूं। शॉर्ट में बताया, चीज बताया कि चैप्टर में ये है, कुछ फॉर्मूलाज एंड ऑल दैट देयर, क्वेश्चंस उनका करा दिया, स्टूडेंट कर लिया, हो गया। एग्जाम में गड़बड़ होगा, प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में यू विल फेस प्रॉब्लम। अपने हर चीज को बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ते हैं, बहुत टाइम देकर। तो नॉर्मली अगर स्टूडेंट्स इफ डूइंग लाइव क्लास और रिकॉर्डेड क्लास, डाउट विल नॉट अराइज, एक्चुअली doubt will be very less. I'm not saying that you cannot ask, you can ask any silly doubts, there is no problem. But suppose you were asking a silly doubts, first time I am not saying anything, second time again same, third time again same, then I need to check you that your study is not going in the right direction. You are asking something which you should not be asking in the first time only, but you are asking again and again the same thing. You can see the previous batch recording, there were students asking the same thing again again. फिर टाइम, आई एम सेइंग कि टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी आपको नहीं आता है, मानते ही नहीं। सेट दैट रिकॉर्डिंग डन, अरे रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं, आपका कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप नहीं हुआ, आप प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ परपीचुइटी, टर्मिनल फ्लो, ये सब निकालना ही नहीं समझ रहे। whenever the question comes on that, figures different, he can't calculate. whenever divide multiply a foreign exchange is coming, he can't do. तो if something is bread and butter for the base of the subject, और वो बेस ही खराब है, तो एग्जाम कैसे पास हुई, कैसे? यू कैन आस्क मी द बेस थिंग अगेन एंड अगेन, बट देन आई नीड टू चेक यू, टेल यू दैट आपका बेस में गड़बड़ी, आप ये चीज पढ़ भी नहीं है, तो यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू दैट। इफ आई विल नॉट से यू, हु विल से टू यू? तो बहुत कॉन्सेप्चुअल सब्जेक्ट है, बहुत हाई लेवल है, हर चीज बहुत डीप में समझना होगा। इट्स नॉट एसबीएल प्रतीक, एसबीएल में क्या है? जनरल। The general is a problem with the student because of English. Now this is not English, this is not general, this is specific. I will say that, suppose there is a topic I taught you, you understand everything in my class, but if you don't practice the questions, you will not be able to feel confident in the exam that मैं questions कर पाऊंगा, even though they will not be repeated. But कोई चीज पढ़ने के बाद we need to test ourselves ना, कि if I understood the topic, then whether I am able to do the questions which are given in the books, then only I will be able to do the question in exam ना, otherwise how? That is called testing. So somebody will say that sir आप mock paper कराते हैं, अरे मेरे भाई Whenever I teach a topic, I do mock test. When the syllabus is finished, I take mock test. लेकिन मॉक टेस्ट देने के लिए जैसे 40 जन है, प्रतीक, यू विल सी व्हेन आई विल टेक मॉक टेस्ट इन मार्च, एक जन भी आंसर नहीं देता है यार, और पूछते हैं मॉक टेस्ट कराएंगे क्या यार. Pattern in the sense syllabus is same. In your case, CIMA case, it's objective type question. And in ACCA, there is no objective type. It's detailed, explanatory, theory written, calculation to be done. You don't have to show anything in CIMA exam how you got the answer. That is your understanding. But if you don't know how to get the answer, how you will select the correct answer. अब जय माता दी करना है, बात अलग है. But Jai Mata Di you can do when the pass marks is 30%. Suppose you will sit in the exam. 30 marks you will be able to get without study. Because out of 4 options, 1 will be correct. 25% already the probability is there that you will select the correct answer without any study. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि खाली बगैर पढ़े बगैर समझे we will be able to do it correct. We can't. I mean to say that what I want to convey. CIMA student will be doing questions from their material. ACCA will be doing from their material. I am not questioning. But both the student need to know the same thing, the concept. Then whether ACCA, whether CIMA, both student will be able to solve the questions. There is no problem. And you can raise the question in the class from any book in the world. Not only Kaplan BPP. आपको जो चाहिए आप पूछिए, मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Maybe I am not able to answer. मैं वो नहीं बोल रहा हूं कि मैं सर्वगुण हूं. लेकिन when I will be discussing, I will be saying in logics everything. Whether it is wrong or right, that is not a question. Because sometimes the language is confusing. There are 2 possibilities, this answer, that answer. I will give you logic, why I am saying 2 things. Then we will check, then we will rectify ourselves. That happens. और मैं कभी भी कोई क्वेश्चंस करने के लिए पहले से क्वेश्चंस पढ़ के कभी नहीं रखता. बिकॉज मेरे को खुद को लगता है कि मेरे को अगर पहले से पढ़ना है तो in class I will not be able to give 100%. When I am reading the question in the class, it is first time only I am reading. I read the question like a student to get into deepness of the question. What is that? क्या सोचना है, नहीं सोचना है. Then I give my views, जिससे कि you will understand better. If I will read it in advance, तब तो मैं वैसे ही बोलूंगा ना जैसे है. Never I am studying the questions. In class, when I complete a topic, I hypothetically go in any question. कहीं भी चले जाता हूं. और 95% I able to do correct. Because concept बन गया है, समझ में आ गया. Sometimes I am doing wrong. But then the student is not never saying that sir आपने भी wrong किया है. कभी कोई सीलिंग मिस्टेक हो गया, कोई कॉन्सेप्ट रॉन्ग हो गया. बिकॉज आई एम ऑल्सो ह्यूमन बीइंग. कुछ तो भूल सकते हैं यार. मैं उस चीज को चैलेंज नहीं लेता हूं कि मैंने कुछ रॉन्ग किया. वैसे ही when you are doing questions, whether your answer is right or wrong, that's not the thing. Whether all the options you are understanding it properly or not, whether you are in the right direction or not, that need to be understood. Question right or wrong घर पे बैठकर कर रहे हैं वो नहीं देख रहे हैं अपने. Questions practice करना होगा. If you don't practice, you will never be able to give exam. Okay? So nobody should be thinking that why the 2 students are together. अरे यार syllabus same है. मेरे को सीमा को जो पढ़ाना है, मेरे को ACCA को भी वही पढ़ाना है, वही स्टडी कराना है. कोई दोनों में डिफरेंस नहीं है. क्वेश्चंस दोनों का अलग अलग कर लेंगे. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? नाउ I will be teaching around 23 classes. Approximately, if you count from today. I am to not waiting that whether the exam is over or not. Even in ACCA exam or over, CIMA exam on demand. You can say today is 14th of December. 14th of December till you can say around 5th of March. Is approximately around 80 days. Here and there, leave some extra days, 80 days. In 80 days, I will be taking 23 classes of 2.5 hours each. Sometime 2.2 hours, sometime 2.6 hours. That's other thing. Average. So 23 into 2.5 will be coming into 60 hours approx. Since the syllabus of professional level or CIMA is very vast, the 60 hours is not sufficient to cover everything. So some areas which I will say now only, today only, I will ask to do recordings of old batch. Old batch means September 2020, which I taught 3 months back. उसमें से कुछ मैं रिकॉर्डिंग करने आज ही बोल दूंगा. That will be coming around 20 hours. वो रिकॉर्डिंग 20 hours करीब का होएगा. So 60 plus 20, 80 hours you are studying with me. 60 hours live, 20 hours you are doing recording, 80 hours. And you have to study 80 hours on your own. You can say that maybe somebody is jaldi se samajh mein nahi aata, maybe in place of 80, 100 hour. Somebody is more fast, much faster, can complete that in place of 80, 60 hour only. लेकिन एक एवरेज में the time which I am giving in the class, that time the student need to give. So total is coming 160 hours. And if we target exam on say first week of March, for CIMA on demand exam, for ACCA it is already fixed. Already the dates are there कि March में कौन सी date को exam है AFM. So if we are targeting that, so we have in 80 days total 160 hour study along with me, along with my class or recorded class. यानी कि every day how much hours? 160 divided by 80, 2 hours every day. It's not a big deal. Considering if we are standing today, regularly 2 hours is not a big deal. But if we don't start study from today only on regular basis, then in that case, after some time only we lose the motion, we lose the motivation. And we will decide in Happy New Year only, January beginning only, March में एग्जाम नहीं देंगे. पहले ही सोच लेंगे. और अगर वो एग्जाम मार्च में नहीं देंगे, then in that case वो कभी नहीं देंगे. मेरे को पता है. Even though I am saying that you can do the classes till 1 year, but agar if you are thinking that you will not give exam in March, you will never give exam. वैसे ही चलते रहेगा जीवन भर. I am saying with my 30 years experience, not only CIMA ACCA, कि स्टूडेंट जब एग्जाम है तब नहीं दे रहा है मतलब वो देगा ही नहीं. I am not saying that in these 3 months the problems will not be there. With you, with me, with everybody. We are human beings, problems will be there. But मेरे को बाई हुक और क्रुक एग्जाम मार्च में देना है, देना पड़ेगा. I have to give. And if I don't start study now, then this 160 hours in less time I need to complete. Suppose in March the ACCA results will come. Say around January result will come. 18 January result आया. कोई एग्जाम दिए थे, पास हुए नहीं हुए, कोई दिए ही नहीं थे. अब 18 जनवरी को अपने सोच रहे हैं अब पढ़ेंगे, तो एक महीना 5 days तो ऑलरेडी गया ना. Now balance period is left only 50 days. 50 days में 160 hour, now it is mounting 3.5 hour per day. फिर मार्च भी निकाल दिए. उसके बाद मार्च में तो एग्जाम फॉर्म भरना है, स्टडी हुआ ही नहीं, फॉर्म भरे ही नहीं. एंड देन फरवरी मार्च तो एग्जाम दे नहीं है, फॉरगेट. अगेन मैंने मैसेज वगैरह किया कि भाई नया बैच चालू हो रहा है, फिर चालू हो गए कि मार्च में आकर फिर ज्वाइन कर लिए पहली दूसरी क्लास, फिर नौटंकी. यू हैव टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस. ये कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाला है. और विदाउट स्टडी यू कांट पास. Even though you are doing my classes regularly live and all that, but then if you don't study on your own, the concept you will not be able to remember. You will not be getting confidence to give the exam. Whatever you are doing, if your job is say 15 hours in a day, then also out of balance 9 hours you have to study 2 hours. If you can't manage on the weekdays, then on the weekend study more. If you can manage 1 hour every day, then on the weekend study 3-4 hours 2 days. That way, in average you need to study 2 hours regularly, which is not a big deal. But if we don't study, we cannot complete the syllabus. We cannot. If I will not give teach like this, then in that case, I will not be able to complete the syllabus in the class. That we need to give our time for study. Along with that, whatever is your personal development, which is beyond this. 160 hour पे exam pass करने के लिए I am saying. General knowledge, what is happening in the world, interest rate, budget, everything, whatever, that is not stop. आप उसके लिए अपना जो development का time निकाले, that's other. But for passing the exam, this is the study we have to do. Okay. Now comes, if suppose like anybody, Pratik or anybody was saying कि material मेरे पास नहीं है, हो सकता है suppose my team gave you today, you have not opened the mail, it goes in junk and all that, or maybe the classes you are not able to do recordings or anything, कुछ भी ऐसा problem, it's a request from my side, connect with my technical team. टेक्निकल टीम में 2 लोगों को कोरोना हो चुका है, 2 ही काम कर रहे हैं, वो लोग और चीज भी हैंडल कर रहे हैं. तो आई कैन से दैट यू नीड टू, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट कि यू कैन नॉट कॉल एंड कनेक्ट, बट ये सोचना होगा कि वो भी ह्यूमन बींग्स हैं. अब किसी को कोरोना हो गया तो अपने क्या करेंगे यार, हो जाएगा 10-15 दिन में ठीक. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट, कनेक्ट विथ माई टीम फॉर एनी नोट्स, recording class, any technical issue. If you ask them what I taught in the today's class, don't ask them. Yeah, I have already said that. I have said them कि आपको पैसा मिलेगा, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है. Somebody was taking tension, sir 15 days तो हम काम नहीं करेंगे, हम फिर भी करेंगे. मैं बोला नहीं करना है भाई, पैसे देंगे आपको यार. I understand. This is not that their fault ना. Yeah, I'm good gesture कुछ नहीं है. It's a normal thing यार. I think this is happening in 99% of the organization. We are not saying 100% is bad. Okay. Now, so connect with my technical team at 844-4040-402 or 6 during office hours only, Monday to Friday, 10 AM obviously Indian time to 7 PM on Saturday till 4 PM. You can mail also at classes@saraf.academy and study resources @saraf.academy. If you call them, call during office hours. If they are not picking, don't panic. Maybe वॉशरूम में होगा यार, कुछ तो हो सकता है. आप फिर से कॉल कर लीजिए, या मान लीजिए you can message them, they will connect with you. If you are not able to get hold of them in the call, then in that case mail them. Mail में मैं भी हूं, because numbers उनके पास है. और when you send a mail, I am at the mail that what is your problems. I will communicate them that this student has this issue. Please resolve this fast. So आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है. लेकिन टेक्निकल क्वेरी के लिए आप मेरे को बोलेंगे वीडियो नहीं चल रहा है, गेम मोड आ गया, नोट्स नहीं है. क्यों भाई, प्लीज नहीं बोलो यार. जिससे कि आई कैन हैंडल मोर इंपॉर्टेंट इश्यूज ऑफ द स्टूडेंट, देयर क्वेरीज एंड ऑल दैट, which is my job. If you are not understanding anything in a particular concept, you can message me, you can WhatsApp me, you can give the question screenshot, you can give your answer, I will reply you. There is no problem. When I am taking the class, I will not reply. When I am doing something, I will not. But मैं आपको call back करूंगा, guarantee. Guarantee. So if technical queries are there, connect with my team. For subject related query, connect at 9830176993. Mail IDs are same. The same mail ID which is used by staff, which is used by me. लेकिन आप उनको ये नहीं पूछेंगे what I taught today, whether the class was there today or not. क्यों? क्लास ऑलवेज होगा, कैंसिल नहीं होता है जनरली. कोई 3 महीना में 1 या 2 बार Maybe suppose 31st December, 1st January, somebody family member said आज तो मत लो यार, ठीक है, अलग बात है, that's other thing. But नहीं लेंगे तो खत्म कैसे होगा? So class will be always there. For any subject related query you will connect, but for technical queries directly with my team. And all these numbers, mail IDs are written in all the mails which we communicate with you. So save these numbers in your mobile phone so that if you have any technical queries, you can connect with them. Okay? Just that I get irritated when the student is asking, sir मेरा recording नहीं चल रहा है, कि मैं सोचता हूं यार मैंने पहले क्लास में स्क्रीन पे लिख कर दिया, फिर भी नहीं मानते. Even if you are saying I will be communicating them via, why not direct? If they will not help you, then question me. Help you मतलब आपने कॉल किया, नहीं उठाया, ये नहीं बोला जाएगा हेल्प नहीं कर रहे हैं. यार कोई टाइम हो सकता है कोई कुछ कर रहा है यार, ह्यूमन बींग्स है. आपका मेल है, एक दिन 1.5 दिन हो गया, 2 दिन हो गया, जवाब नहीं दिए, आपका मैसेज नहीं किए, हम जिंदा नहीं छोड़ेंगे उनको, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है. लेकिन ऐसा होएगा ही नहीं ना. दैट विल नॉट हैपन वेदर टू स्टाफ इज देयर टेक्निकल पर्सन, देन ऑल्सो इट विल नॉट हैपन. मैं टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करूंगा, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है. लेकिन बी प्रोफेशनल इन योर अप्रोच. Don't fight. I also say to my staff that student is always correct. Maybe sometimes the student is wrong, sometimes. But I always say, don't shout, don't say anything. Be cordial in your approach because we are in the education sector, education industry. We can't be like everybody. तो मैं उनको 50 बार बोलता हूं कि कभी गुस्सा नहीं करना है, बोलने दीजिए, कोई बात नहीं है. Sometimes the student says that my exam is next week. Why I will not be getting 24/7 service? अरे यार रात को 12 बजे आपको कौन सर्विस देगा यार? हो सकता है कोई टेक्निकल इश्यू आ गया. यू नीड टू बी ह्यूमन बीइंग, आई कैन जस्ट से, बिकॉज यू ऑल आर वर्किंग समवेयर. तो वहां पर आपका एक टाइम है. देन योर पर्सनल लाइफ इज देयर. सो सिमिलरली माई स्टाफ हैज अ पर्सनल लाइफ. सो आई विल से दैट दे विल डेफिनेटली, दे आर वेरी वेल. फॉर दैट रीजन दे आर माई स्टाफ. बट वी नीड टू गिव सम बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट दैट समथिंग may happen with somebody. ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है, तो अपने हेल्प करेंगे, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना. Now, I can divide the syllabus. I'm not going that what is one by one topic in CIMA and ACCA because topics are all common. But I can divide the syllabus in 4-5 areas. First is basic knowledge. Basic knowledge of time value of money and foreign exchange, which is there in all the topics. Calculation of present value, future value, some difficult calculation, and foreign exchange, divide, multiply, pound, dollar, and all that. That is there in entire syllabus. So first of all, we need to do that, so that again and again in every topic we will not discuss them. That will take 2 classes. Today class sometime I will be teaching, and in the next class fully I will be going with basic. That is not a chapter, that's common. If that basic concept is there, we will be able to start our study. Then comes foreign exchange risk management. Foreign exchange risk management, which will take around 3 to 4 classes. Then come interest rate risk management. This will also take 3 to 4 classes. Even though you can say that they are one single topic each, but they are very difficult. So to explain the concept, to do some problems in the class, getting feeling, it takes time, 7-8 classes. And this I have to taught live. If I will say recordings, it's not that there is anything difference in the recording, but these are a difficult area. If I will not teach them live, then in that case, there is no purpose of conducting live classes. And in practical world, they are very, very important. Even entire syllabus, but they are very important. Then comes mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions. You can say takeover, valuations, synergistic benefit, then what I should say, demerger, consideration to be given, how corporate governance relating to merger, demergers in the world. There are many, 2-3 topics are there, which will take at least around 5 to 6 classes. Come second. 5 to 6 classes. Then comes investment appraisal. Investment appraisal means NPV, IRR, profitability index that we are studying for so long. Studying in the sense, suppose somebody is a chartered accountant, already studied in CA. Somebody is normally doing ACCA or CIMA, already there in CIMA, P2 syllabus, in ACCA, FM syllabus. That investment appraisal, first of all, they have given a revision, then advanced level. Foreign project, foreign investment project, calculating cost of capital and all that, calculating present value, taxation adjustments, advanced level of investment appraisal. Okay. Along with that, cost of capital and capital structure. Cost of capital, capital structure. And then source of finance. Whether the funds should be raised through debt, through equity, the nitty-gritties relating to that, and if the company generates income, how they will be distributing dividend. What should be the distribution policy? So debt, equity, and dividend. Under that, I can say debt, equity, dividend, and financial evaluations. Evaluations in the sense ratios and all that. In all the exams, CIMA, ACCA, both the exams, they ask questions on ratios. So that is important. Even though we may be doing ratios for whole life, and we will be doing in future also whole life, but the ratio financial evaluation is also there. Under that, along with non-financial evaluations, that is not only earnings per share, profitability, return on capital employed are only to be seen. Other factors also need to be taken into consideration for analyzing the performance of the organization, the financing decisions. I will say that suppose I take the maximum classes, 8 classes is gone into interest rate and foreign exchange. 2 classes gone into basics, 12. 6 classes gone into what I should say, mergers and acquisitions, 18 classes gone. We need to take 2-3 classes for mock papers. That is, in those classes, I will be doing only the mock papers which came in the earlier term in exams, giving them a feeling in the Excel, how can we do fast calculations? That thing need to be, because when we are approaching the exam, then the tension will come. You can see that he already 20-21 class हो गया है. अब ये जो investment appraisal है, this I teach in around 1.5 class. Cost of capital, capital structure, around 1.5 class. Source of fund, debt, equity, dividend and all that, around 2.5 class. You can say that these are 5 to 6 classes I take. In the previous batch, I taught this portion, but I have not taught in the live class mergers and acquisitions. In September 2020 batch, I said to the students, mergers and acquisitions, you do recording, and investment appraisal, cost of capital, source of funds, I will be taking live. And interest rate, foreign exchange, I have to go live. There is no other option. So interest rate, foreign exchange is very difficult. I have to go live. This time I am picking mergers and acquisitions. So investment appraisal, cost of capital, source of funding, you can do recordings. You need to take a target that this portion which is around 5 to 6 classes, how you will get in which class it was taught. When my team share the notes, then in the notes folder, there is an Excel file, video list. In the Excel file video list, whatever I teach in the class, I make an Excel file. Like, just 1 second. Everybody will be given the notes folder, this ACCA, AFM, CIMA, F3 folder today again. Don't worry. If you have, it's very good. If you don't have, then also you will get. Because my team will not locate that who has been given or not. You can see this Excel. In this Excel, what I taught from 8th April, I started the batch, 8th April 2020. In the first class, what I taught? In the first class, syllabus introduction, basics of time value of money, which I said now because uske bagair I cannot start. Time value of money, foreign exchange continue in the second class. Then cash flow and profit difference, that is investment appraisal started. So this third class, fourth class, fifth class, sixth class, seventh class, eighth class, ninth class. You can say some of the questions I have done from this area. So 3 to 9th, that is around 6 classes. Those 6 classes of 2.5 hours each, I am asking to do recordings. From 3rd class till the 9th class, do the recordings. Then I started in a different area, foreign exchange risk and all that. That too I am going to complete. That all running, you can see that war and all that, debts, the beta. Then doubts, you can see that I have not taught mergers acquisitions in the previous batch. So I said them, do the mergers and acquisitions from the previous batch. You will say that sir, debt equity ये सब क्यों डाला है? As an extra. If you are doing debt equity from top, you don't have to do this. Basically, I have not taught mergers, synergistic benefit, valuations. ये सब मैंने नहीं पढ़ाया था. This I said that do the old recordings of 2019 batch in the previous batch. Now I am taking this up and I am bringing down the investment appraisal and all that. It's just one reason to cover different things which are, you can say, not so difficult, which can be managed through recordings. उसको हम एक बार change करती रहती. But I never skipped the interest rate, foreign exchange risk, never. I always go with that in the class. और ये जो mergers acquisitions वाला part है या investment, you can say there are 2 types of growth. Organic, inorganic. Organic means you will be doing things on your own, and inorganic means you will take over other organization. Both are investment appraisal. So sometimes I teach inorganic appraisal, sometime in a batch I teach organic. So in the last batch I taught organic, now I will be teaching inorganic. But उसमें सब में NPV, IRR, present value ये सब आएगा. Beta calculation, all these things will be there. What I want that, कि suppose I will be starting this mergers acquisitions by around 28th of January. Before that it is not starting. By that time, take a note that you complete the investment appraisal maximum by January end. The investment appraisal, source of fund, those 5-6 classes you complete in these coming 1.5 months. जनवरी एंड तक कंप्लीट कर लीजिएगा, so that when in February 20-25 days I will be teaching the balance part and all that, जब mock papers करें, then at that time you are ready with everything. Your knowledge should be 100%, should not be any knowledge gap. And while studying in investment appraisal, anything with the recordings, you have any doubt, you can ask any time. आपको ये नहीं सोचना है क्लास में फॉरेन एक्सचेंज चल रहा है, हाउ कैन आई आस्क, मैं बोलूंगा, मैं समझाऊंगा. आई विल मे बी इट विल टेक 1 hour, आई विल गिव, यू डोंट हैव टू टेक 10 sir. बट स्टडी करने का तरीका है क्या? What is the best way to study? The last thing, then we will start the syllabus. So this I am writing old recordings of September 2020. This also old recordings of September 2020. This also old recordings of September 2020. What is the best way to study? How to study? This is, I am not saying on the basis of teaching in CIMA ACCA. This is my 30 years experience. When I studied something, I did many mistakes. I found that I could have done better in exams when I was studying at that time, whenever I give the exam. With that, I understand. Do live classes as much as possible. That's my first thing. Otherwise, why I am live? Because all the things which I taught in September 2020, the same thing is there. Then to live का कोई काम ही नहीं है, recording करना है तो. So for that reason, always do live classes if possible. If not possible, then follow the recordings with live schedule. Okay, today you have not attended the class, but next class will be on Wednesday. Do the recordings of the today class by Wednesday. Or maybe suppose today, tomorrow you didn't get time. Then Wednesday class is also over. Then Tuesday, Wednesday class, by next week, Monday at least complete. Don't do backlog. If you are not doing live class, do the recordings within the week only. आप उसको change नहीं करेंगे. After doing live or recorded, please do the recordings in fast pace. You can say 2x again. Suppose you are doing live class. Today too I have not taught anything up till now. When the live class is there, or when you are doing the recording normally 2.5 hour class in 2.5 hour, you will understand everything. There is no problem. But आपको एक बार फिर से recording करना होगा. Even after live class, you need to do the same thing again. Now next time when you are doing, do it at a 2x speed. That means 2.5 hour class you will be completing in 1.25 hour. Because you have already attended the live class or you have already done the recordings fully. But there are concepts you will find that कि मैं भूल रहा हूं, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, तो पहले recording फिर से करी. Then study on your own, same thing which we did in the class. Around 2 hours, around 2 to 3 hours. You understand, you are giving 2 live class, say 2.5 hour, or maybe 2 recording 2.5 hour. That 2.5 hour is study in the week. Then 2 classes, so 2.5 hour, 2.5 hour, 5 hours. Then you are doing again recording in fast format way. That is 5 hours class in 2.5 hours. So 7.5 hours. And then around 3 hours you are studying the same thing on your own. So 7.5 plus 3 is around 10-11 hours. And then do other questions which we have not done in the class and make your own notes in Word file for 2 to 3 hours. You have done the live class, you have done the recording, you have done the fast forward recording. Double time you have studied the same thing which I taught with me. But that time I was there in front of you. Now do the same thing again on your own. You will find that even though you have done double time, but still you are not able to do. Not that you are bad. मैंने वही चीज हजारों बार की है. How can you will be comparing with me by doing 2 times? Not possible. मैं भी अगर 2 बार करूंगा मेरे से भी नहीं होएगा. Because things are not easy. So you need to study that on your own, solve the same thing, same question, same things which we have done in the class in writing. In your Word file, in your Excel file, wherever you will be making, make a folder, ACCA, AFM, CIMA, F3, whatever. In that folder, make 2 files. One is Word file, one is Excel file. And in the Word file, write the things which we have done in the class on your own. So if we have done in the class in 2.5 hours, you will be taking 2.5 hours. You can't do faster, even though you have done recording double time. And then balance, you will study on your own the things which we have not done in the class. But when you are doing those things, don't see the solution. आपने लाइव किया, रिकॉर्डिंग किया, अपने आप किया, अब तो बैलेंस क्वेश्चन आपसे होने चाहिए ना, नहीं तो फिर एग्जाम में कैसे होंगे? So do the questions on your own. After solving the question, the answers are given in the back. See, 99% you will understand what mistake you are doing, why you are doing the mistake. Make a note of that. Make a note of that mistake, that with this mistake I should not be repeating. I am doing this I understood like this. If there is a question which is very good, you understand that, but you want to revise later, take a screenshot of that question in your Word file with your own understanding, with the institute answer there only. So in a topic, your notes are ready, all the critical areas, everything. Never copy anything from my notes, from institute, Kaplan, BPP notes, nowhere. Your notes means your. You don't have to show those notes to anybody. That is your understanding. So make your notes in your own Word file. And you can say this is not coming totally 14 hours. 7 into 2, 14 hours nahi hua. Abhi bhi आधा एक घंटा बाकी है. So when 15-20 days are over, start revising the stuff which we studied 10-15 days earlier. जो आपने पहले पढ़ा था उसको रिवाइज करना चालू कर दीजिए. Start revising that. Revision, no recording, nothing, no Kaplan, nothing. Revision from your own notes. Whatever you have made notes while studying the topic, whatever important area, that you will revise. So if a topic you took say 7 hours to study, the revision can be done in 70 minutes, in 1 hour only. But at that time now you cannot open the recordings and all that. Maybe 3x also, generally not. अब recording नहीं खोलना, आप already double बार कर चुके, अपने आप पढ़ चुके. You follow this. Maybe suppose you will think that, sir, I'm not liking this. You follow this only for 10 days. एक बार शुरू का 10 दिन follow करिए, then you will think the difference which you are getting, the understanding which you are getting. That is applicable for all the courses, not only for ACCA. ACCA, CIMA, CPA, everything. When we are in the class, when we are looking at the recordings, we understand. But हम लोग उसको RAM में रख नहीं पाएंगे. कैसे? Unless and until we will not do that thing on our own. On your own in the sense, mainly you can say going through one time the textbook, or going through the questions which I have not solved in the class, because every question I will not be solving in the class. So those questions which I have not solved, and the theory I have not read everything from the book in the class, something I explained in my own words, go through with the notes, read the notes, write something what you have understood in the chapter, that way. Because refer to karna hoega na, that. then in that case, the problem will not be there. And do that at least for one subject. Believe me, you will find the difference. Feeling aayega. For initial first two classes, it's general. It is there in every topic. You can't go into a specific topic. Maybe if you have, you can say some old materials of other courses, basic material. अगर है तो कर सकते हैं. आप बोलेंगे तो मेरा टीम भी दे देगा. If you can message कि can you give me the material of CIMA P2 or maybe ACCA AFM, they will give. आप उससे भी कर सकते हैं. But first two classes में कोई topic से नहीं पढ़ा रहा हूँ. First two classes are general knowledge, so that we can apply that knowledge everywhere in the entire syllabus. Whether we do foreign exchange, whether we do interest rate risk, whether we do investment appraisal, organic, inorganic, सब जगह time value of money multiply divide will be coming. That is normal bread and butter. तो उसके लिए जहां जहां गड़बड़ी होती है, जहां I have seen that students, even very high level student face problem, तो मैं वो सब चीज शुरू में पहले ही बताना चाह रहा हूं, so that later on when we will be doing the topic, the questions will not arise. Okay. Now, can we start our discussion relating to basic knowledge? Anybody has any doubt? Padamji, Pratik, Visal, Vivek. Okay. अब लेकिन ये सब चीज आप वापस पूछेंगे, मैं क्या बोलूंगा? डू द रिकॉर्डिंग्स ऑफ द फर्स्ट क्लास अगेन, एंड दिस रिकॉर्डिंग आई विल अपलोड ऑन यूट्यूब ऑल्सो. आई विल से दैट यूट्यूब में देख लीजिए. 5 minutes break. Okay, I am writing for myself something. I am not saying anything. You all can take a break of 2-3 minutes. Sorry. Actually, the reason not giving break is only one thing. You all need to go office. सब लोग जो those who are taking the class, they all are working ना. तो 10 बजे भी problem होता है. बात ये. That is the reason. For that reason, I don't give break. Not a problem. You are at office only because you are from Australia, but they will be going to office, or maybe the office work will start from home because of corona. तो मेरे को क्या है कि 10 बजे के अंदर फिनिश करना जरूरी है. बात यही है और कुछ नहीं. So I am not saying anything for 2-3 minutes. I am just writing my example. Basic knowledge of time value of money. If somebody want to understand time value of money, interest rate, inflation, real rate and all that, I taught yesterday morning bachas, 12 pass out students, and that was very good class. It was fantastic. I have uploaded on YouTube, just that it will be available for public by today afternoon. तो अगर किसी को जनरली समझना है, एकदम बेसिक्स, जब आप जीवन में फर्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू स्टडीड फाइनेंस, व्हाट इज टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी, इंटरेस्ट रेट, रियल रेट, इन्फ्लेशन एंड ऑल दैट, तो मैंने वो यूट्यूब पे डाला है. वो टुडे आफ्टरनून तक अपलोड हो जाएगा. यू कैन सी दैट वीडियो. आपका उससे बेसिक्स वो चीज अपनी क्लास में डिस्कस नहीं कर सकते. रीजन इज ओनली वन. देन इन दैट केस ओनली टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी विल टेक अराउंड 4-5 क्लासेस. So for that reason, that basic knowledge I am assuming understand. But मैं जो चीज बोलूंगा उससे वो कवर जरूर होगा, indirect. Cash flows. Year. Cash flow. Year 1, 200. Year 2, 300. Year 4, 300. Year 4, 500. You can take 500 million, whatever. 500. 500. 500 plus 5% per annum every year forever. Suppose there is an investment project. Acha, let Sandilia comes. When Sandilia you are back, then just communicate in the class that you are back. You are back. This thing which each present value calculation I am doing, this present value calculation will be there in every chapter, in every entire syllabus. So everywhere we will be getting confused, उससे पहले ही तैयार हो जाए. Now the normal present value calculation is what? The 200 first year divided by 1.1. First year 200, I want to find out present value at the rate of 10%. 200 by 1.1 plus 300 by 1.1 square plus 300 third year also by 1.1 cube plus 500 fourth year by 1.1 power 4 plus 500 3 times already there divided by 1.1 power 5 plus 500 divided by 1.1 to the power 6 plus 200 first year, 300 second and third year, 500 3 times. Now from 7th year, what I am saying that from 7th year it is not 500. From 7th year it will be 500 plus 4%. 8th year, whatever is the 7th year plus 4%. 9th year, whatever is the 8th year plus 4% forever. I am doing a project in which the cash flow will be coming like this. Or I am taking over another organization. Because of the other organization, I will be getting this. I am going for hedging in interest rate, foreign exchange, whatever. There this calculation is involved anywhere. I am not talking about a particular topic. अब मैं कैसे करूं? So we say that 500 into 1.04. This is what? This is 7th year figure. Then 8th year figure will be 500 into 1.04 square because 1.04 more. 9th year figure 500 into 1.04 cube and so on. And then I will be dividing by 1.1 power 7 power 8 and all that. But how many times? This is going to be forever. Forever there is a formula. The formula is expected value which is 500 into 1.04 divided by 10% minus 4%. Whenever there is a cash flow which will grow forever, whenever there will be a cash flow which will grow forever, then the present value calculation is expected cash flow divided by I minus G, divided by required rate of return minus growth rate. In this case, the required rate should be greater than growth rate. Otherwise, the present value cannot be calculated. If I will say that I want present value by 4%, growth will be 10%, there is no answer. It is infinity. So infinity don't have any value. This can be solved only when the required rate of return is greater than the growth rate. Now this is what? This is the value of 500 plus 4%, 7th year 500 plus 4% plus 4%, 8th year forever. For whole life, whatever will be the cash flows, उन सब का present value ये है. Whatever will be the cash flows for whole life, the present value is this 500 into 1.04 into 1.04 square cube and all that forever. But where? This is 7th year. This is 7th year cash flow. 500 into 1.04 is a 7th year cash flow. So when I am doing 7th year cash flow by interest rate minus growth rate, it will give me the value at 6th year. If I will take the cash flow of first year, it will give me value at 0. But if I will take the cash flow of 7th year, it will give me the value at 6th year. In technical language, this is called terminal value at 6th year. In books, when you see the solutions, they will be using the word terminal flow. Terminal. Terminal means it's not that we are terminating the project at 7th year. The project is forever. But when the forever cash flows are there, the forever cash flows, I have to find out present value. Then only I can decide whether I should be doing the project or not. So whenever the expected cash flow you are writing, the expected cash flow you will be writing for the year, it will be giving you present value 1 year back. That means 6th year. But I want the value at 0. So what I need to do? Divided by 1.1 to the power 6. Because from 7th year onwards, whatever I will be getting forever, the value I am getting at 6th year. But I want the entire cash flow value at the rate of 10% today at 0. So I am doing a double calculation. First of all, I am considering the 500 growth at the rate of 4% from 7th year forever by doing 500 into 1.04 divided by interest rate minus growth rate. That is giving me value at 6th year, which is called the terminal value. And then I am bringing that 6 years back. Here, the 300 were annuity. The 500 were annuity. So in place of doing the 1 by 1 calculation, I can apply annuity concept also. Present value equals to 200 divided by 1.1 plus 300 into annuity factor for 2 years at the rate of 10%. Because when the figures are same, we say that annuity. Now 300 is same for how many times? 2 times. So 300 2 times 2. But this value is not coming at 0. Because the 300 is starting from where? 2nd year, 3rd year. When you multiply with the annuity factor of 2 year, then you will be getting value at 1st year. This is at 1st year. Because the annuity starts from 2nd year end. So to bring it at 0, what I need to do? 1.1. Like 200 is at 1st year, I am bringing 1 year back. Similarly, if I multiply 300 with the annuity factor, I need to bring it 1 year back. Similarly for 500. 500 into annuity factor at the rate of 10% for 3 years. 3 years because 500 is 3 times. But from where? 500 is starting from which year? 4th year. So when 4th year, 5th year, 6th year, 3 times 500. When you multiply with the annuity factor, you get 4th year beginning, 3rd year end. At 3rd year. So to bring it at present value 1.1 to the power 3. Whenever the cash flow will arise, when you find out present value, the value will be coming 1 year back. If the cash flow is arising from 1st year, then the value is at 0. If the cash flow is arising from 2nd year, then the value will be at 1st year, not at 0. So somebody can use the annuity table. The annuity table will be given in CIMA, ACCA, every exams along with the question paper. On the screen, you will be getting the present value table, annuity factor table that we know. We don't have to divide 200 by 1.1. The present value table will be giving you 0.909. 300 into annuity factor into 0.909. 500 into annuity factor into 10% 3-year discounting factor. But these all are only what? 6 years figures. And then from 7th year, 500 into 1.04 by 10% minus 4% into, not into, divide by 1.1 to the power 6. Obviously, I am not interested in doing so much calculations in the exam, but the calculation involves this. So what I will be using? 200 into discounting factor plus 300 into annuity factor into discounting factor plus 500 into annuity factor into discounting factor plus 500 by 500 into 1.04 divided by 6% into discounting factor. I will be doing the calculation in exam by looking at the table. Wherever discounting factor required, I will be using the discounting factor table. Wherever annuity factor required, I will be using annuity factor table. And 500 into 1.04 by 10 minus 4, there is no table. I need to do calculation in the calculator only. Yes, Vivek, what you were saying? Are you asking why 500 into 1.04, Vivek? In the last line, in the previous para, last line, it is 1.01 slight change.
It's on the same page. It's on the same page. If you come down,
Yes.
that one, the 1.04 instead of 1.01.
Acha, sorry. ठीक है. Not a ceiling mistake is okay, but I meant to say that I have written first of all the cash flow. Then I have explained that the cash flow need to be calculated in a proper way, present value. The present value we will be calculating with the help of table value only. Always we will be using the table, but the table does not mean that if you use the table every time the calculation will be correct. Your concept should be clear, that whether it is an annuity, whether it is a growing cash flow, from which year the cash flow is arising, where I am getting the value, that should be clear, because otherwise every chapter, whenever the present value calculation involves, we will be doing mistake. And the problem is that we are looking at the solution. We are not knowing ourselves, and then we are looking at the solution hodgepodge, everything mix match. I don't have to see solution for calculating present value. I will be doing on my own. Obviously, in the calculation, there will be some, approximation error. Because maybe you are doing everything in calculator, they are doing with the table, you are doing with the table, they are recalculating. Some slight differences will be there, always. But that doesn't mean that my concept should be affected. There is one more formula we say. If annuity continue for ever, then PV of perpetuity equals to annuity divided by interest rate. Annuity divided by interest rate. Annuity means the amount which you suppose I will say that 500 forever. No growth. So 500 divided by 10%. If there is a growth, then expected value along with the growth divided by I minus U. If there is no growth, then the amount divided by interest rate will give you present value. But the value will be coming always from where the cash flow arising 1 year back. If the cash flow arising from 10th year, whenever you apply the formula, annuity factor, whatever, it is giving you value at 9th year, not at 0. You need to bring it separately at 0. Are we getting the terminal flow concept in calculation? If everybody is getting, then I will give one example which we all need to solve, so that the clarity will come. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. example. Acha, 1 second. Everybody should have FX 991 MS or FX 100 MS calculator. If you don't have, buy one. If you have, use it regularly in your study. Normal calculator, these calculations will be very time consuming. So we should be using FX 991 MS or FX 100 MS calculator. If you have, it's okay. If you don't have, you should be buying. Not that on the day of exam you will buy. Buy now only, so that entire study you will be doing through the calculator. In CPA, Pratik, BA2 plus non-professional, that's more advanced one. But in I mean to say UK courses, they don't allow that advanced calculator. Okay? तो आपको CPA के लिए calculator दूसरा use करना है, यहाँ दूसरा है. Okay? Now, example, year, cash flow, first year 500, second year 400, third to seventh year 600, eighth to, I am intentionally giving cumbersome calculation, because normally if I will ask that, to we all know. For that reason, the calculation is slightly tricky. Okay? 8th to 10th year. 7th year plus 4% growth for every year. Then 11th year onwards. 10th year plus 3% growth every year forever. Present value at the rate of 10%. Present value at the rate of 10%. First year we will be getting 500. Second year we will be getting 400. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. 4 years we will be getting 600, 600. 8, 9, 10. We will be getting whatever is the 7th year, 4%, 4%, 4% more. Then 11th year, whatever is the 10th year, we will be getting plus 3% forever. The present value need to be calculated by 10%. Now for the timing, I don't want the final value. I want actually what you will be doing. Because, okay, it's better that you all calculate final value. Then if the answers are different, then I will be saying. I'm giving you 3-4 minutes, because you cannot do in half a minute. Annuity factor. Suppose discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 1 year equals to 1 by 1.1. It is 0.909. Then discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 2 year equals to 1 by 1.1 square, that is 0.826, then discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 3 years. For 3 years equals to 1 by 1.1 cube, that will come to 0.751. This I remember for that reason. So annuity factor at the rate of 10% for 3 years. Each combination of all these three. 0.909 plus 0.826 plus 0.751. If you add, then it becomes annuity factor. 0.909 plus 0.826 plus 0.751. How much it will come? 0.909 plus 0.826 plus 0.751. Anybody, how much it will come? .909 plus 2.486. So if suppose 300 into 0.909 plus 300 into 0.826 plus 300 into 0.751. Okay, or I will do 300 into 2.486. Same figure will come, because ultimately 300 first year, 300 second year, 300 third year. To find out present value, I will multiply with the discounting factor. 300 into first, 300 into second, 300 into third. I will take common 300. So the balance will be 0.909 plus 0.826 plus 0.751, which is already given in the table. So I can do shortcut 300 into annuity factor. So when the figures are same, we don't have to calculate present value one by one. When the figures are same, we can multiply with the annuity factor. लेकिन मेरे को लग रहा है विशाल, अगर ये चीज नहीं याद है तो एक बार एकदम बेसिक्स में जाना होगा. बेसिक्स के लिए I will say that do the recordings which I will upload, which I taught yesterday class to 12 pass out students. वो एक बार करने से better रहेगा. If somebody is not understanding discounting factor, annuity factor, then in that case more basic is required. Then in that case I will upload a video, and at the same time maybe that video is not required. I will give you some list of videos which are basic understanding of time value of money, which is already uploaded on YouTube. वो करना होगा, because नहीं तो पूरा syllabus गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. Whole syllabus will be creating a problem. तो मैं सबको अभी मेल कर दूंगा, एक लिस्ट ऑफ वीडियोस है in which I have taught the basic time value of money. Okay? तो वो सब कोई कर लेंगे जिनको लगता है बेसिक्स नहीं आते. Because I am not teaching why time value of money. I am not teaching what is the concept of interest rate, real rate, inflation, risk premium and all that. I will say that in scientific calculator, suppose I want to solve this. मान लीजिए मेरे को ये सॉल्व करना है, मेरे को ये पूरा कैलकुलेटर में लिखना है. In normal calculator, if you do 200 by 1.1 and then you do plus, it will not function. But in scientific calculator, if you take 200, divide 1.1 plus 300, divide 1.1 for power arrow 2. Everything whatever you are writing in a copy, you will be writing in typing in the scientific calculator and equal to answer. So in the normal calculator, the problem will be that I need to do this separately, this one separately, this one separately, this one separately. But in scientific calculator, whatever I am writing on the sheet, you will be able to write entire thing on the calculator. जैसे लिखा हुआ and then equal to. So there is nothing new understanding required. The scientific calculator will help you to do the calculation, everything. We can use Excel. First of all, in CIMA exam, Excel will not be there. You have to do the calculations in, what I should say, in calculator only. In ACCA exam, Excel is there. I will teach Excel calculation later. But first of all, I need to make you understand this. In CIMA, they will not give Excel sheet. Not that, practice कर लेंगे. लेकिन you cannot do the practice of scientific calculator on the day of exam you will buy. That is wrong. Because in scientific calculator, there is no practice required. It's just what? Habit. That this thing we are writing in a copy, we need to write in the calculator also. Excel calculations are allowed. In ACCA, we can do the calculation in Excel. I will also share one video in which I have shown all the Excel calculations in the class. I'm not going into now that, but I will be showing all the calculations. If you could have seen, I mean to say that ki Vishal, you, Pratik, you all have given the exam for ACCA. In the ACCA software in the exam, you will see that on the website on the left side, they write formula sheet. In the formula sheet, how the Excel calculation they have done, they have explained everything. And in my video, there are two videos. Around 1.5 hours, I was showing the Excel calculation to the student. That also I will share with the class. Yes. Here the Excel use is more. In SBL, the usage is less. In SBR, the usage is less. But in AFM, the Excel usage will be more. But in CIMA, Excel will not be allowed. So in CIMA, calculation will be done in calculator only. But मेरा क्या purpose अभी है? My purpose in the class is not Excel or anything. My purpose in the class for the time being only on understanding. Whether it's Excel, whether it's calculator, if I don't understand, I will do wrong calculation. So first of all, my concept should be there. Then the second leg arises Excel, calculator and all that. Are you getting what I am saying? तो मेरा अभी ऑब्जेक्टिव ये नहीं है कि वेदर यू कैन डू द करेक्ट कैलकुलेशन इन द कैलकुलेटर और एक्सेल, दैट सेकेंडरी है. द फर्स्ट प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव वेदर वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस. So suppose Vishal asked what is annuity factor, that means the question says that the basics are not clear. Allowed. In the SBR exam there is no Excel calculation involved ना, खाली ऐड ही तो करना है. इन SBR एग्जाम ओनली प्लस माइनस, लेकिन सारे एग्जाम्स में अलाउड है बिकॉज सॉफ्टवेयर एक ही है. All the action functions are written for all the exams in ACCA exam software, and all the functions a student can apply. I have not gone today on the website. I will go in the next class again in the website. I will show you. Because they are not making separate software for SBR, for SBL, for AFM, for APM, not like that. Because फिर तो वो लोग manage ही नहीं कर पाएंगे यार. The same software they are using for giving all the exams, for taking all the exams. Except the F1, F2, F3, that is bachcha's exam, where it is only objective type. But part, I mean to say skill level, professional level, where ऐसे type questions are there, सारी जगह Excel में वो functions है जो होना चाहिए. That is required only in FM, AFM exams. That is not required in other exams. But Excel functions सब जगह, guarantee, 500%. So other than Pratik, nobody can say what will be the answer. 7669.33 Pratik is saying. Other than Pratik, the question is in front of you, not this. Sorry. This one. Not a problem. Let's check what others are saying. Anybody else is doing the calculation? 8 to 10 year will be whatever is in the 7th year, whatever figure is in the 7th year, it will grow at the rate of 4% forever. Not forever, for 3 years, 8, 9, 10. Whatever is the 6th year cash flow, 7th year cash flow, from 8th year it will be at the rate of 4% more for 3 years, 8, 9, 10. Then from 11th year, whatever is the 10th year figure, it will be growing at the rate of 3% forever. I think I should proceed, otherwise the time will waste. If I will take this again here, so that I will be able to do the calculation in one page. PV 500 by 1.1, 400 by 1.1. One second, why it is coming 3, 4? First, second, 500, 400. First, second, 500, 400. Okay. Then from third year, third to 7th year, 600. How many times 600 figure is same? Third year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year. Third year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year. So 4 times the figure is same. In place of writing 4 times the discounting factor, I can multiply with NVT factor at the rate of 10% for 4 years. I can do one by one, 600, third 3 year back, 4 year back and all that. But 600 into NVT factor for 4 years will give me figure where? This 600 is from third year. So this is giving me answer at second year divided by 1.1 square. Then plus, now 8th year, 9th year, 10th year. The 4% is not forever. The 4% growth is only 3 years, 8th year, 9th year, 10th year. So what will be the 8th year figure? 8th year figure will be 600 into 1.04. 600 into 1.04. This is 8th year figure. 8 year back divided by 1.1 to the power 8 plus 600 into 1.04 square, because in the 9th year it will be 4% more, divided by 1.1 to the power 9 plus 600 into 1.04 cube divided by 1.1 to the power 10. This is 8th year, 9th year, 10th year. I cannot apply any formula. And here I cannot use the table also, because there is no table for any growth formula. So 600 into 1.04 I need to do in the calculator. Then I can multiply with the discounting factor of 10% at the rate of for 8 years. That I can do. But I cannot apply any exact formula here because it is a different figure every year. Then comes from 11th year, 600 into 1.6 600 into 1.04 cube, that's already 10th year, into 1.03, that is 11th year. Whatever is the 10th year, 11th year is 3% more. So 600 into 1.04 cube is already 10th year. 11th year is into 1.03. But this is going to be forever. So divided by 10% minus 3%. When the cash flow will grow at the same rate forever, then we have to apply formula. Expected cash flow divided by I minus G. This expected cash flow is of 11th year. So when I am doing expected cash flow by I minus G, it is at 10th year. What I need to do? Divided by 1.1 to the power 10 to bring it 10 years back. In simplified format, I can say 500 into 0.909 because I should be using table. Then 400 into 0.826. Then 600 into annuity factor at the rate of 10% for 4 years into discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 2 years. For 2 years, 500 1 year back, 400 2 year back, 600 third year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year, add 0. For 4 years it is annuity, then 0. Then plus 600 into 1.04, there is no formula, into discounting factor at the rate of 10% for what I should say 8 years. For 8 years. Because 2 plus 4, 1 second. 2 plus 3, 4, 5, 6. But this is coming 5 times, no? This 600 is coming 5 times. 1 second. This is basically 7. No, sorry. Where is that? This is coming 5. Because 600 is 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year, 7th year. 5 times. Sorry. So, for 5 years. And then discounted for 2 years. 600 into 1.04, 8 year back, plus 600 into 1.04 square into discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 9 year, plus 600 into 1.04 cube into discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 10 year, and then the last one plus, which is not a shortcut, 600 into 1.04 cube into 1.03 divided by 7% into discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 10 years. We need to see the table. In the table, we will be taking these discounting factors from the table and then we will be doing the calculation in scientific calculator only. In scientific calculator, 500 into 0.909 plus 400 into 0.826 plus 600 into annuity factor from the annuity table and into, can you calculate also please? I am calculating, 1 second. Into the discounting factor from the table for 2 years. Then I will be doing 600 into 1.04 in scientific calculator only. I have to do this calculation in scientific calculator, then only I will be able to do it faster. In the Excel, I will be doing slightly in a different way. In ACCA, Excel is allowed. But in CIMA, Excel is not allowed because there is no working they are saying. So in CIMA, we have to do in calculator only. There is no other option. Normal calculator, scientific calculator, both. Now, 500 into 0.909. How much you say? 500 into 0.909. Anybody can say? 454. Should we take without decimal? माथा खराब हो जाएगा. Exclude decimal. 455. Okay. Plus 400 into 0.826. How much? 400 into 0.826. 330 or 331, whatever. Then 600 into annuity factor. From where we will get the annuity factor? In all the books, everywhere, annuity tables are given. These are the tables. In exam also, this table will be given. I want annuity factor. This is discount rate. Annuity factor must be present value of annuity at the rate of 10% for 5 years. 3.791. 3.791. So 600 into 3.791 and into 0.826. That is 600, 600, 600 for third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, seventh year. 5 times into 3.791. And then 2 year back into 0.826. Then plus 600 into 1.04 into 8th year discounting factor. 8th year discounting factor, 10% 8 year. 10% 8 year, 0.467, 0.424, 0.467 plus 600 into 1.04 square into 0.424 plus 600 into 1.04 cube into 0.424 and 0.386. 0.386. And then plus the last one, 600 into 1.04 cube into 1.03 divided by 7% into 0.386. If I will bring this in the next page, this all thing I will not be doing in the writing in the exam, maybe in ACCA also. Just I have written one line, then I will be doing calculation in the calculator only. So first one is 455. First one is 455 plus 330 plus 600 into 3.791 into 0.826. How much? 600 into 3.791 into 0.826. How much? Only this one. 600 into 3.791 into 1879 plus the next one 600 into 1.04 into 0.467. In the calculator you will be getting all entire ones. Just in the class I am writing. 600 into 1.04 into 0.467. How much? The 8th year figure. I think Vivek is saying 292. The 9th year figure 600 into 1.04 square into 0.424. Vivek is saying 275. Then 10th year figure. Vivek is saying 260. And then the last one. The last one 600 into 1.04 cube into 1.03 by 7%. Whatever will come into 0.386. The last one. 600 into 1.04 cube. 3982. 3982. So all will be coming to what? 455, 330, 1879, 292, 275, 260, 3982. 7473. I think you said 7,333 only. That was same only. It's just approximation. I think Pratik, you were correct. The total present value of all these cash flows is 7473. In any calculation in exam, so many cumbersome calculation will not be there. That annuity also, this also, that also, no. This is not for exam that in any, but in any question, any portion is involved. Why we will be getting confused? Why? I cannot be confused in doing the present value calculation, because then in that case I cannot pass ACCA, AFM and CIMA F3 exam. Because everywhere in the entire syllabus these calculations are involved. For that reason, basic time value of money calculation we should be doing. Then the question comes calculator or Excel. That's secondary. The first is getting the concept clear. For that reason, my focus is not on calculation. My focus is on difficult type of present value calculation. What is the logic behind that? इसीलिए मैं अभी calculator या Excel में नहीं जा रहा हूं. That is not my objective. I said that we should be using calculator. That's other thing. But फिर भी मेरा, I mean to say that if I don't have the logic, whether I am using Excel, whether I am using calculator, wrong to wrong ही है ना. And everywhere I will be doing wrong. Okay, I will send. Don't worry. I will send to everybody. Whoever want to go through with that, they can go through. Okay. But then when I will be sending the video, they are very time consuming. They are on freely on YouTube, but I will be sending, then they will be time consuming. Because normal calculation, one single amount, present value, 2-3 annuities, that we know. But these deferred annuities, deferred growth and all that which is written in the basic books, deferred annuity, deferred growth, this, advanced annuity, those types of things. I am not using those words, deferred or all. I mean to say just calculating present value, simple knowledge. Yeah, this simple, but if somebody don't have knowledge, then they will be facing problem in the entire syllabus, na? That way. So I will be sending the videos in half an hour after the class. That you do this, you will be able to understand. Okay. And if you will be doing any question anywhere, you find that you are not able to do, then in that case, send the doubts. Whether you are there in the live class or not, I will open your mail, I will clear that. Don't worry. What you need to do, first of all, do this recording again. Do the same question again which I have solved in the class. Then only the other recordings which I will be giving you. That's other thing that I said. कि पहले वही पढ़ना है जो मैंने पढ़ाया. Okay? So we will be doing in the next class the further basic study. There is no topic. It's the basic study going on. Leaving for today for all of you. Thank you to all of you. Whatever I have written in the slide, you will get in the mail just now. Don't worry. You don't have to copy anything. Okay. Thank you to all of you. Take care. Study hard. Study with my instruction. That is request. Tada.